Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully you all are having a good week. We're back. We've got golf to talk about tomorrow. We have golf to talk about for tomorrow. We have some Super Bowl stuff I want to run by you guys. Also, some coaching news, which I made a TikTok about last night. We'll talk about that as well with the New Orleans Saints. If you're a Saints fan, yeah, I don't really know what to say. If you're a Saints fan, I'm sorry. That's what I'll say. But yeah, we'll let some people join up here. I want to go back to oh man, there's a Super Bowl bet I want to put in, and it's really juicy, okay? It's minus 175. Someone in the chat may know what I'm talking about because I went really heavy on this bet last year and it didn't win. So I want to run it back. I think it's one. Oh man, I can't remember how far back I went. I think I went back 12 or 13 years. And so if we include it not winning last year, it's won like 9 or 10 of the last 12 years, I think. It did not win last year, though. So I want to go back to it, especially with one of the teams we have playing. Because it just feels like it's going to win. So I don't know. We'll talk about it. For golf, though, let's dive in here. We'll talk about this so we don't have to talk about it tomorrow. We have Pebble Beach Pro-Am this week. Used to be a tournament. You guys can kind of see the theme here when we start the season out. I don't like these tournaments where they're playing 3 different courses and stuff. Like, it's just not. I don't like it. This used to be one of those. It's not the same anymore because they changed. They made this a signature event, so all the big names play in it. And instead of it being a 3-course rotation like it was in the past, it's just 2, and 3 of the rounds are at Pebble Beach, and then they play 1 round at Spyglass. So it's really not even a multiple course thing anymore. Like, you play 2, but 3 of the 4 rounds are going to be at Pebble Beach. So, we can kind of just go based off of that course. Doesn't look like it's going to be very windy this week, which wind can really affect Pebble. So that would be good if there's not going to be much wind. These guys won't be complaining and all this stuff that they do when there's bad weather now. So, and Scotty Scheffler's back. So it makes it harder to bet when Scotty is playing, in my opinion. At the same time, though, it's his first tournament back. He hasn't played this year, at all yet, because of this injury he suffered at his house on Christmas when he cut his palm and got glass in his hand or something. I don't know. All I know is it's his first tournament back. So if there's a time to maybe take advantage of him starting slowly, it could be this tournament. There's one guy in particular I really, really like this week. So I'm going to be putting an outright on him. And then I'll probably bet like 2 outrights. I like some like higher odds guys this week, but with how stacked the field is because it's a signature event, it's like I'm less inclined to take outrights on some of these bigger number guys just because it's just harder for me to envision them winning, but it's golf. Anything, can happen, certainly. So maybe like a top 10 bet on some of these longer odds guys I like Bo Hostler being one, obviously shares my name. So he's already goated, but he's been playing very good. He's played well at this tournament in the past, kind of sets up well for him. You can get like 5-1 on him for top 10. I'm kind of interested in that. Or maybe doing a parlay. If we did him to come top 20, you're still going to get plus money on it. So, Bo Hostler top 20 is plus 190. Pair that up with, one of these other guys, and you're going to get a pretty decent little payout. So I'm going to look into something like that because he's one of the guys I like a lot this week. But I don't want to bet him really outright when the field is just so stacked. I mean, he's crushed this tournament, though. I mean, he's the last 3 years, he's, last year 3rd, 11th, and 14th his last 3 years here, so really good course history. Um, really good, like, around the green, which is needed here. It's not like you don't need to hit the ball far here, which is kinda fits the theme of some of these tournaments we've seen earlier this season. Like, we've been taking, like, Eric Cole and Ben Griffin, like, some of these guys, like, you don't need to hit the ball far to have success here. This is another one of those courses, like, you really don't need that much length off the tee. We're on the same page with Bo. Yeah, Sass, I like Bo a lot. I don't know if I'll take him outright, though, just because of who's all playing, but definitely I'm gonna do, like, a top 20 parlay with him and someone else. The guy that I really, really like, I just was talking to my friends about this a couple days ago. I really like Colin Morikawa this week. He has played well here. Last year was his first year. He played well. He just like there's no one that feels more due for a win than Colin Morikawa. He hasn't won in like 2 years. I mean, maybe over 2 years, which is insane when you think of Colin Morikawa, like how good he is and how fast he came out of the gate with those major wins. He hasn't won in forever. He feels very much due for a win. And because Scotty Scheffler's playing, you're getting like if you take Scotty out of the field, like you're probably getting Morikawa at like 8-1, 9-1, 10-1. You're getting him at 14-1 here. And there's several, websites offer profit boosts and stuff. Like you can boost this up probably to 16. I'm really interested in Colin Morikawa this week. He is my favorite. Like I'll be playing him on my DFS team. But I'm gonna be betting to win. He's my pick to win. I think he was like top 15, top 14 here last year. But the course just sets up so well for what he does well. And like I said, maybe we can take advantage of Scotty maybe starting slow. And yeah, exactly. So no wind. For someone as good as Colin Morikawa is with his irons, when you have no wind, I mean, he should be able to just pick this place apart. So I'm expecting we see a pretty big score win this. If this holds up with no wind for the whole week, basically, we're going to see 20, 21, under probably win this. These guys will be putting up big scores. So I like Colin Morikawa a lot this week. I also like Justin Thomas, another guy that feels due for a win. I like some of the adjustments he made in the offseason. He's looked great to start the year. And really, if you think about Justin Thomas, a lot of his problems has been kind of putting recently. He does putt well on POA greens, which they have here at Pebble Beach. So, maybe he could get hot with his putter and make a run. I'm leaning towards not betting him right now. And maybe if he gets up to like 20 or 25-1, once the tournament starts, maybe I'll dabble on him. Morikawa is going to be my main bet here. And then maybe we could use JT in a top 20 parlay with Bo Hostler or something. Let me see what that would pay. Where are we at here? Top 20. JT and Bo Hostler, that would pay plus 383. If we did Morikawa and Bo Hostler, it would pay plus 365. So you're getting pretty good, like a 3-4-1 on this top 20 parlay. I like that. I'm gonna be doing that. I'm gonna be betting Morikawa outright. That's gonna be my main plays here for Pebble Beach. Some other guys that I think are interesting, maybe for like DFS or just longer shots. Nick Taylor, really liked him coming into the offseason. I just did FSGA PGA draft yesterday. It's like an expert league, so a lot of like golf content creators are in this league. Did that draft yesterday. It starts with this event is the first week. I have Nick Taylor on my team there. I think he's going to have a big year. He already has a win this year. Another guy similar to like Eric Cole, Ben Griffin, like he's not very long off the tee, which is not going to hurt him here. And he's been absolutely dialed in for the entire season for the first few events. So Nick Taylor, I think, is interesting. Again, probably not going to bet him, but for like DFS, he's 7,200. I'm interested in him. Uh, that's probably it, like, off the top of my head. I'll be interested to see how Jordan Spieth plays. I mean, kinda coming back from injury. I mean, he's played very well at this event before, but, uh, I don't know, man. I'm at a weird spot with Jordan Spieth, so I'll probably just avoid him, to be honest. But, Nick Taylor, Bo Hassler, I like for DFS value plays. Collin Morikawa is my favorite, and I will be betting him outright. And, I'll be using a profit boost, definitely. There should be I'll probably put, like, a third of a unit on him and then find a profit boost and whatever I can max that. If it's like point 0.1, point 0.2 quarter unit, I'll also put that on him. And hopefully we can at least just get a sweat going into the weekend. That's really what we're looking for here. All right. So yeah, that's my takes on the golf. If we want to switch over to football, the New Orleans Saints are just a disaster. I mean, I think it was very clear they were like waiting for Mike McCarthy, and then he just decided that he's not going to coach this year and wait till next year because I don't think he wants to coach the New Orleans Saints. And now they're kind of like stuck with, they're just alone at the dance. They don't really know what to do. They're going to get Kellen Moore. I would be really, really shocked if they don't end up with Kellen Moore as their head coach, which I think is a terrible hire. Not that I think Mike McCarthy is a good hire. This is where people are getting confused when I made this video. I'm not saying they need to hire Mike McCarthy. You guys know, if you know me, I would not hire Mike McCarthy. The problem is the entire process. Like, have the Saints been linked to anyone other than Mike McCarthy and now Kellen Moore? I don't remember, like, there was like maybe like a day period where they were like, oh, maybe Aaron Glenn would go to the Saints. I don't remember ever the Saints being linked to any head coaching candidate other than Mike McCarthy. So the entire process makes no sense. Like, you're hitching yourself to this wagon that you don't even know if he's going to coach. Like, you don't know anything. And then, he decides to take a year off and now they're stuck. So they're going to have to hire Kellen Moore. And why would you want Kellen Moore to be your coach? I'm sorry. As someone that roots for the Eagles, I love the Eagles. I love Jalen Hurts. Kellen Moore is not a good coach. I don't think he's good. I don't even think he's a good offensive coordinator. He's been at multiple places in his career. He's had like one good season as a play caller. Okay. And then this year, like, are we really going to give Kellen Moore credit here? He's got the best offensive line in football. He's got Saquon Barkley, Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert. Like, the guy's got everything that you need. So what? He's going to go to New Orleans. He ain't going to have the best offensive line and, Saquon Barkley and Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown. He's not going to have that down there. The Saints offensive line has been terrible it's been terrible since Drew Brees was getting older. Like, completely different situations. So, yeah, the Saints are just hilariously bad. They've had no direction or meaning since they got rid of Sean Payton. And I think they messed up this coaching search. They're going to get stuck with Kellen Moore, and I don't think it's going to work out. If it works out, I'll come on the stream in 2 years from now and I'll say, hey, I was wrong. Good job, Kellen Moore. But I just don't see it. And I think the Saints are stupid. Who all did the Saints even interview? Can I find this somewhere? I want to know. What's the list of people? Let me see. Like, so I feel like I've heard nothing about this. Okay, look at this. Look at this list of people they've interviewed. Oh my God. Okay, so they interviewed Cliff Kingsbury. Terrible interview. Why would you want this guy to be your coach? Jaden Daniels had to put Cliff Kingsbury in a backpack and carry him around. So terrible interview, and he said no. Joe Brady, maybe. I don't know. He could maybe be good. I have no idea. He told them no. Darren Rizzi, who was like their interim coach last year, whatever. Okay, so they interviewed him. Anthony Weaver, who is the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins, whatever. He apparently said no, or they weren't interested. Mike Kafka, okay, and then Mike McCarthy. This is the list of people that they've interviewed. What the hell is going on in New Orleans? Is this an owner problem? I'm not familiar with the dynamics of the New Orleans Saints organization, so I don't know. But I feel like, when they had Drew Brees and stuff, this was a staple. The New Orleans Saints were a staple, a well-run machine down there. They have fallen by the wayside. This is terrible. Terrible list of interviews, and now they're just stuck with the only guy that will take the job, which is Kellen Moore. So pour one out for Saints fans this weekend. I'm sorry. I'm expecting just more years of pain coming your way, at least in the short term. So I apologize, Saints fans. Switching over to the Super Bowl. Does anyone know, if you're in the chat, Sass, if you're still in here, do you remember this? Do you remember the one Super Bowl bet that I made last year? Not the Chiefs or something like that. It was a prop bet, and it was a very, very big bet for me. It was like one of my biggest. It was like one of my biggest bets of the year, and it did not hit. But I think I'm going back to the well. This is a juicy play. I think it's minus 175. So this is going to have to be like a 5-unit bet to make any money on it. But just hear me out. I'm going to double check that this is still minus 175. Because if it moved, I'm not taking it up. Minus 175 is my cutoff. I'm not going any more than that. Okay, it's still minus 175. The bet is shortest touchdown under 1.5 yards. So basically, we would be betting on there to be a 1-yard touchdown in this game. So last year I bet this. It did not hit, like I said, but it had hit. There's always a 1-yard touchdown in the Super Bowl. I went back years and years. I think I went back 12, 13, 14, 15 years, and it had hit all but like 2 times. And then last year it didn't hit. So that tells me, A, we're due for it to hit this year. I'm doubling down. 2, who is like the number 1 team in the NFL that just for whatever reason gets tackled at the 1-yard line? It's the Philadelphia Eagles. I've never seen a team get tackled at the 1-yard line more than the Philadelphia Eagles. It seemingly happens every single game. I would love to know how many 1-yard touchdowns Jalen Hurts has this year. He probably I think he had 2 or 3 last week. So, like I said, this would have to be, if you don't have the bankroll, I would say don't bet this. But if you have been along with me for the ride, like if you hit this parlay with me last week or something, like if you've got a little extra change, I'll put 4 or 5 units on the minus 175 to win 3 units, I'm going to be going back to the well. I'm going to figure out how I want to do it. I don't think you can parlay it with anything, unfortunately, but man, it's due for a win coming off not hitting last year. And then the Eagles just get tackled at the 1 every single game. Like, how does this not win? And if it doesn't win, if I go 4 or 5 units on this thing again and it doesn't hit back-to-back years, I will retire. I will retire it. I'll put it up. I might retire it win or lose, to be frank with you. The problem is it's just hit so consistently. This could be a retirement bet one way or the other. Win, we retire it. Lose, we retire it. I'll think about it. This may be a 5-unit max. 1-yard touchdown. I wish I had. Oh man, I definitely wrote this down at some point last year. How many times did it hit? Let me go back in my DMs. Maybe I sent it to someone. I feel like I sent it to like Sandy or T-Mac at some point last year. Let me see. I have so many random. Oh, wait. Okay. All right. Right here. It has to be in this chat. Sounds like a winner. Dude, I completely agree. Okay, I'm in April. All right, here we go. Let me see. Gotta get to February. The Eagles score 1 every game. That's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm gonna check this tonight. I'll bring the data to the stream tomorrow. How many 1-yard touchdowns Jalen Hurts has scored in his career? It has to be astronomical. Okay, so since 2013, there's been a 1-yard touchdown in every Super Bowl except 2 years. So now we can say that was last year. So we can say only 3 times since 2013 this hasn't hit. The two games that missed, there was a 2-yard touchdown, and the other game there was 4 touchdowns inside the 5-yard line, and none of them were 1 yards. And let me check last year's. Let's see last year. How close were we last year? I don't remember how close it was. I was obviously I was watching it because I had a big bet on it. I don't remember it ever being that close. Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl. Yeah, here we go. All right. Let's find the touchdowns here. Here's one. 21-yard touchdown. 16-yard touchdown. 10-yard touchdown. There just wasn't a lot of touchdowns in this game. It was only 20. It was 25-22. And then Kelsey and OT, or not Kelsey, Hardman and OT, 3 yards. Yeah. So, okay. So now we can look at this. So since 2013, there's been a 1-yard touchdown in every Super Bowl except for 3 of them. And in the 3 that there weren't a 1-yard touchdown, we had 1 from the 2. We had 4 from inside the 5, and none of them were 1 yard somehow. And then last year we had a 3-yarder. So it's been very close in the years that it hasn't missed. Feels due for a win. The Eagles get tackled at the 1. We're going 5-unit max, shortest touchdown. I don't care if it's minus 175. I'm not scared of the juice. 5-unit max, first bet of the Super Bowl. I'm gonna tweet it out later. If you guys joined late, we went through the golf for this week. Colin Morikawa outright is my main play, and then I'm gonna do a top 20 parlay with Bo Hostler and either Morikawa or Justin Thomas. I haven't decided. I don't know if I've like I said, JT's been very good. I like the changes he's made. I think he's going to have a big 2025. I think he's due for a win, but I don't know if I want to set myself up for tilting him this week. I'm already in on Morikawa. We might just live or die with Colin. I don't know. We'll see. I'll tweet out the golf plays that I take, but thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to go I have a podcast to do with Steve. Check it out. YouTube, rollinginsights.com. We post them there every single week. We talk about all sorts of stuff. Next week, we'll be doing top 5 Super Bowl moments. So if you guys want to hear my top 5 Super Bowl moments, that'll be on YouTube next week. I don't know what we're talking about today, but good luck with your bets tonight. I'll be live tomorrow, 11 a.m. We'll talk some more golf tomorrow and some stuff. But yeah, see you guys then.